I think that more now than ever, teams are just so afraid to get rid of a starting quarterback who is even halfway decent. But I'm presenting two cases that I want your take on, Justin. The first is Lamar Jackson. And Lamar Jackson is obviously, like all of us, creeping to an older age. He's should have been back-to-back MVP this past year and the year prior. I think we just had a little bit of Jackson fatigue. But he is arriving at a decision point in his contract. And I know, he just signed one in 2023, but John Harbaugh this past year at league meetings said he deserves to be at the top of the market. Next year, the next 2 years, his cap number is like $75 million. So it needs to be addressed. He went through the process already as his own agent. He saw NFL media leaking stuff about the fake personal fitness guy acting as his representative, all that stuff. He saw what it was like to get buried by the machine. He's smarter now. He's also incredibly rich. He still wants a fully guaranteed contract. What if, Justin, this just reaches the point where he's like, F it, like, trade me. And the Ravens are like, you're right, we're tired of this. I don't know. What your thoughts?
I think something would have to go horribly wrong to the point. Do you remember it wasn't that long ago that John Harbaugh was sort of on the hot seat?
Yeah.
And he's obviously not on the hot seat today. But if something crazy were to go wrong, or, that obviously there's some behind the scenes weird stories, Justin Tucker, like, I'm not saying anything. I just think the impossible dreams heading you're using, the impossible is the key word here, because I don't know if I even entertain the idea of the Ravens wanting to part ways. Now, if Lamar Jackson decides he wants to part ways, but let's be real, Baltimore from an organizational standpoint is one of the most stable homes you can find as a quarterback. I think he'll be very happy, and they'll be very happy to come to some sort of arrangement. Definitely have to address that cap number, but make him feel valued the way he needs to be valued.
I always wonder if because I don't think Harbaugh or Greg Roman, who's no longer there, or Eric DeCosta or Ozzie Newsome give themselves enough credit for what they did. Now, Lamar turned out to be a fabulous player that was overlooked by a very idiotic segment of NFL GMs, right? And I think that's full stop, period, to the point where even his first 5 years in the NFL, they barely let him be part of the passing offense. Now he is, and now he's a perpetual MVP candidate. He's not just a running quarterback, and we're not going to pigeonhole him in that way. This is a conversation we could have had in 2020. But I do wonder if somewhere in the back of their minds, as they're dealing with this now, and as it comes back up again, and as Lamar Jackson sits down at the desk and says, still want a fully guaranteed contract, by the way, and I'd like it, and the rest of the NFL is going to get super mad at them, if there's just not this little kind of demon on their shoulder being like, no one wanted Lamar, and we made it work. There's got to be another guy that's coming out in the next draft or the draft after that similarly will be undervalued, or you're going to say, okay, well, he can do this, but he can't do that. But he's kind of a high ceiling prospect and we could make it work. Do you think that there's even a part of them that could feel that way, where it's like, and again, I don't want to put any words in their mouth, but it's sort of like we made you so we could make someone else, even though they didn't. But if the negotiations got hot enough, again, we're calling this the impossible dream tier. I don't know. Make me believe that the reality that I created could come true, Justin. God damn it.
All right, then I have to lie to both of us, to myself, to you, because
don't do it.
I just think it's too far-fetched, because why move on from someone unless you think you're going to find somebody better? And who's even better than Lamar Jackson right now? Arguably the best quarterback in the NFL. I know there's three other guys in the tier, Allen, Burrow, Mahomes, but you're not going to move on from somebody that is winning multiple MVPs unless I don't want to even entertain it. Unless he's terrible in the playoffs again. Is that a reason to move on from an MVP? I don't think so. And I think Ravens fans would be going through hell if they tried something like that.
I had Jalen Hurts in here last year, and I truly believed, because if you looked at the contract that he signed, it was not like Lamar Jackson's. Lamar Jackson's, all the cash flow came in at the beginning of the deal. It was not a fully guaranteed deal, but it was as close as you're going to get in the NFL, unless you're a accused criminal like Deshaun Watson, and you just get to be able to amass this amount of money for no reason. But Jalen Hurts' contract was not like that. And I remember reading both of them side by side, sitting down and being like, I don't know if the Eagles actually really like him. Like, I think they kind of like him. But now that he's won the Super Bowl, and yes, they're known for moving on from players earlier rather than later, but he's done it with 100 different coordinators. I think he's more important than a coordinator in that offense. So I took him out.